Okay, hello, welcome. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Time for more of them. Their Baldur's Gates. Nope, I still haven't updated my graphics card launcher. Last time we were dealing with our problems explosively. Let's see, I did see something. Okay, that's fine. So we're inside the temple in the goblin camp. Still haven't found a druid. Or Volo, who I guess is in here somewhere. He was taken into a cage after we made him lose his composure while reciting made-up prose to the goblins, who are now all dead. And we have to explore the rest of this place. We've been pretty much everywhere in the rafters. Oh, Volo's over there. And is that just telling me those quests are outside? Search for Halsin in the goblin camp. Do you mean in here, or? You know, while I was going through the rafters, it might actually have been not so much that the enemy couldn't see me, but that they weren't hostile to me. Because it seemed like I could have walked through this place fairly unhindered. It was just when I started chucking barrels and blowing people up, they were like, hey, stop it. So they probably could see me up there, but they just were like, whatever. You know, it's fine, you're supposed to be here. I thought I was doing a sneaking mission. But oh well. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh! Oh man, there was a pile of smoke powder barrels up over here.
Indolence breeds madness.
Hee hee hee.
Well.
Patois?
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
You wouldn't be able to play with explosives then. I need to like start messing with alchemy to make bombs. Hey Kibbits, how's it going? Opportunities for strategy, exactly. Yes, grenades, alchemist's fire, ashes of fire amber, and salt. Okay. Well, I know how to make one type of grenade. Tired. Landlord housemate things. Yeah, sure. I've heard stories of things, so I guess I can imagine some of what it might involve. Well, I hope it's all over and you're able to have a rest now. Let's see. Ashes. I need to make fire amber. I don't actually think I have any of that. And I don't have any salt either. I've got mugwort, rogue's morsel. But, I might actually have to read and see how this works. But it seems kind of straightforward.
Open up.
More potatoes. No, I don't want to talk to you.
Goblins. Not a shred of dignity to be found among them.
I thought you had an arrow sticking out of your back there. Yeah, gobos are kind of a detestable race.
At the ready.
He says, playing into the fact that that gnomes don't like goblins, and goblins shouldn't like gnomes. Ooh, roast ribs, pork belly. Oh yeah, that's right. I've still got all the dwarf meat. Yum yum yum. I kind of wish you could eat this for like a little bit of healing. They'll probably make healing a little inconsequential if you were able to just chow down on 1,000 cheeses. Still encumbered. Spicy sausage. There we go. Oh, okay. How long have those grilled meats been sitting in there? I don't know. The game's not saying they're off. Oh, there's a grease bottle.
Don't mind if I do.
We can replace the one which we used up here. This is where I slip and fall off the beam because of the grease I threw up here.
Something good here, I hope. Steady, steady. That's a supply packet. That's fine. There's a wooden crate. Okay. Astarion, you really didn't need to go step into grease more. Oh, and I was rewatching the fight afterwards, and I noted that even though after I correct myself, I kept calling Draw Ragslin here, Karlash. By mistake. So, I don't know why that stuck in my head that he was called Karlash. It's like a little hatch behind there. Okay. Climb up here. And we'll go over this way. Careful of the smoke powder, which is all up there. Oh, hello. Yeah, okay. People are all hostile now. Rozak, goblin boss. Oh, all the way over there. And Scrut. Oh, you're climbing up here. You're gonna climb up too? No. High ground.
The subtle approach.
Hell! Kill me and you'll be hunted down like a dog. That implies there's gonna be people left over.
Strike.
Oh man, I could totally like chuck a barrel at him. But I kind of want to hold off on them. I could jump you over there. A shockwave. That doesn't knock them back, though. I want to knock him off the platform. Do I have something which is explosive enough to, like, blast him off? Apart from the barrels.
Another
another fight. Let's go.
Do you have anything? Do the grenades do something? Smoke powder grenades. He's got, what, 15 hit points?
Time to strike.
Lazel, how do you feel about being a grenadier?
Taking position.
Oh! Well, it didn't kill him. Jump over there as well. Hooyah! Sup! Now you throw me off. I might just end up finishing him off with a bow anyway, because... no. I want you to pull your bow out.
In position.
Why are you walking? Oh, you're encumbered. What have I got that's so heavy? Oh, the roast ribs. And a pork belly. Okay. Drop some. Thank you. I didn't realize so much pork was so heavy.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
Okay, so you're still hostile.
Let's have some courage.
Astarion. Oh, some of you are still in combat.
My turn.
Okay, okay. I thought battle ended, but it continued because someone else got within range, I think. What's this? What's this scrying eye thing? Sees invisible, levitating. How many hit points has it got? 8. Oh man, timing. Ugh. Miss me. I was hoping to catch the They're all gathering around near that door. Ooh. Ha! You teleported. Maybe I should have thrown a barrel at him so he fell down the hole. Okay, you're right there.
Don't linger.
I can't shoot you. I could throw it there and that would hit you. Oh, we made it saving throw. Oh well. Oh, there's a ladder there. Of course there is, because the other guy got up there. No, Laser! Of course you made your saving throw. Ow! Not on my watch! Okay, she is right there.
Got it.
Smoke powder barrel? When you absolutely positively have to have something die. Huh. Excellent. And I think because she was on fire, it blew up. Still concentrating.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
Night Warden Minthara. Yo, you're level 6. Okay. 2d6, 2d4. Do I have something else I can do? Cold, roaring thunder.
me see. What's the roaring thunder ones do? Let me just check my inventory. Do I not have them? Are they in someone else's inventory? Oh no, there we go. Okay, so Ilmatar arrow does necrotic damage. And Roaring Thunder one, here we go. Explodes on impact, pushing targets back 5 meters. I wonder if I knock you down that hole, will you, if I knock you down that hole, will you, take damage from the, Ooh, you might not actually fly because of the angle. I've got a potion of sleep. Makes me fall asleep. Oh, I never gave this metal shield. Oh, it's got the same class as my current shield, so... Okay. I'm just going to use an acid arrow then. Missed and saved. Of course. Oh, you failed to sneak. Okay. Succeeded on concentration. Good. Not good.
You will not take me.
A full heal. Ah! Well, there goes, Lazel. He got pushed off the edge. Oh, another warrior joins the battle. Hey, Lazel, you know that barrel? Could you give it the Karlak, please? Thank you.
Gods, it's hot in here.
Do I want to throw this on them? Or down there? Down there, I think. They're the bigger threat. Okay, well, you're not concentrating anymore because Laser is down for the count. Ooh, I've got an idea. Where is... Have a little grease. Okay, poison your weapon. Okay. Laser is not faring too well.
Into the shadows.
Okay, you weren't able to sneak. We can resurrect you if you die. We have enough scrolls. Do you have anything which you could throw? Alchemist's fire. Pig's head.
A dagger? Well, you may as well just shoot your bow. Alchemist's fire. Grease might combust if I hit it with fire, and I kind of want to keep that slippery so that they can't easily jump over here. So I'm going to throw another vial down there. Keep them burning. Huh. How'd you get over there? Ah! They're throwing potions. Acid potions, it looks like. Yeah. Okay. Step here. Shoot. Oh, Squat's dead there. How'd he die? Shoot you.
I won't give in.
I'll push you down. Ah! And I will... Don't worry about it, Lazel. We can rebuild you. Nice. I heard that eye, but it doesn't seem to, like, it's the type to attack us. Critical hit. Very good. I'm going to get you to jump down over here. Good. Ooh, you managed to get through the door. Okay, you got to come from behind then. Miss me. What soul branding do? Creature's movement speed is increased by 1.5 meters, and its next weapon attack deals an additional 3 to 9 fire damage. This condition ends upon landing a successful weapon attack. Oh, okay. Like a little buff. Shoot sharp eyes at me. Good. Oh, I wish that ragdoll fell off. Oh well.
Still on my feet.
Okay. I kind of want to use one of these void bulbs. Throws this anti-bulb at the target and possibly pull in nearby objects and creatures. There might not be anything nearby for them to grab onto. I don't know if it would pull other creatures to it. Shoot you. Very good. Dead. Step back from the edge. Ain't no running from me.
Time for a new approach.
Hey, cool. You succeeded.
Spill some blood.
16 damage. Very nice. You're still maintaining your concentration. You've got really good ability to concentrate. Oh, you're actually managing to climb up there. Ooh. Ooh. That smoke powder is going to come in handy. Astarion.
There's blood in the air.
Be a darling and split one of the alchemist's fires. I said split. Okay, just give them all to Karlak then.
All right, Karlak. It's go time.
No?
Let's turn someone inside out.
Thank you. Boo! Ah! Excellent. Oh man.
Still breathing. Everything.
Right, you. Poison your bow and shoot. Okay. 6 damage, saved against the poison. That's fine. Well, Lae'zel's dead. We can resurrect her. We can rebuild her.
We'll do it my way.
Sneaky time.
Fun.
Good. Drow leader's dead. We just got a war boss and a warrior to deal with. Oh, you're going to go up on there on the fire. Okay. How's that going to go for you? Stop this! All my friends won't rest until they avenge me. Can I just like... I just want to like throw something at you just for the heck of it. Throw weapon at warrior drunk.
Karlak.
It dealt 9 damage. Okay. I was hoping it would actually knock him off the platform. You're up on the rafters. You see this at the other end. A flaming demon with 2 axes. What do you do?
Survival is all that matters.
Okay, so she's dead. Rozak.
May the gods take you first.
Ah. There. Boo.
Let's find some prey.
Him, please. Path is interrupted. What do you mean path? Can't have disadvantage against target. Go over here. Path is interrupted. Ah, okay. I guess you can't shoot them. Ah, just shoot him then. No, you can't. Okay, fine. Never mind. Ugh. I should have put more grease down. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Push. Really? You failed? You failed to push him off, but you did fail to slice and dice.
Blood comes easy these days.
Maybe it's the banner blocking your line of sight. You can't shoot through this. Yeah, it's a banner because it's stopping about here. Okay. I guess you could position yourself over here, or you could just wait. I know throwing all these grease things around is making it more difficult for me, but yeah, don't want you to stand in the acid there. Would you be willing to jump from here onto the beam there? I don't think I would. Especially if it's slick with blood. Good. He's on fire. He's lying in it.
I got this.
Yeah, just shoot him.
Where do I go from here?
You missed. Well, it was a...
Dead. Seems these true souls have their limits.
Okay. There we go.
Watch your back.
Ooh, a smoke powder bomb. Another grease bottle. Grubby key. Rogue's morsel.
Yes, please.
Emerald ring. Gold. I can pick up my hatchet again. Yeah, pick that up. I like how versatile combat in this is. It's a lot of fun. You have a lot of options. Though it does kind of feel like it's weighted to using all these options. Just playing out a battle without making use of all these things is quite hard. Ooh, you have quite a few things. I get the feeling you're actually a potential party member. You have a camp supply pack, an alchemy pouch. You have a parasite specimen. Oh, yeah. Okay, you're definitely a potential party member. Oh, well. That's not the route we're taking. We could take your armor. While there is little of the spidery goddess Lor's influence in the outfit, there is something of spidey, inflexible culture of the drow in it. Supply pack. Spider's lyre. Drow leather gloves. Yeah. And a mace. Whatever. Low sworn drow. Another gobbo. Oh, right. Yeah. Lazel.
Take you.
Get up, miss.
My injuries need tending.
I don't have any...
Still alive, so that's progress.
I don't think I've got anything to heal you with. I've got this. Okay. This is a tinsy bit of healing. I should be making use of that. That's basically, oh, I get one of my spells back. Where is the necklace ability? Here we go. There we go. And yeah, I need to long rest to get it back. Okay. Yeah. Wear the silver pendant again. And yeah, I mean, you know what? Memorize, get a spell slot back. So I can cast a magic missile.
Let's march.
Karlak, if you had a healing, it would be really useful. if you had a healing. My words are the best words.
The eye's glassy black surface reflects your gaze.
Poke it. Give a cheerful wave. Okay.
You sense no reaction from the unblinking eye.
Kick it like a football. Uh-oh, grease. Ooh, arrow of darkness. Don't fall off. I just resurrected one of you. Also, I like that they actually put the option to poke the eye.
Let's see what this does.
I knew what people wanted to do. Maglabiet. Your axe got broke. Your whips don't sting. Your priests all croaked. Show your face and we'll take your eyes. Then chop you down to goblin size. The absolute will make you kneel. Beg and grovel. Bleed and squeal.
Time to press ahead.
Oh. Gobbo's in there. Okay, there's 3 in there. Hop over here.
Just like old times.
And hide. Well, you didn't hide, but oh well. Karlak. Don't have enough movement to jump up there. Okay. Well, I want you to dash.
Soldier.
Run over there. Okay. Good. There's a war barrel, a war drum over there. I'm gonna keep you out of combat for the moment.
Nothing.
Just because
standing in
you're
the way.
rather low on health. Very good.
Time to press ahead.
Run over here. Oh, I see. This scrying eye is actually following me around. Attack it. Get rid of it. Runs off. It's actually moving around on its own. It's not obeying the rules of turn-based combat. I don't want to use all of your potions. 12.
What's it gonna take?
Go for you. I should have made you rage. Oh, maybe not. It's fine. From within the room, you hear the sound of limbs being torn apart. Screams. Karlak seems to be having some fun in there. Ow. Okay, good.
Nothing important is ever easy. Fall by my hand.
Get up there. Light. Yeah. Get rid of that scrying eye. You missed. Okay, don't worry about it. Swing. Arrow of roaring thunder. And an arrow of fire. Sarcophagus lead can't be added to inventory. Is there anything in there? There is a skeleton. A scimitar.
I'm so tired.
Don't need it.
How do people do this all day?
What's inside?
Bone. Another bone. Okay. We're quite injured. I should have a rest. Last time I had a rest, we had a cutscene with Lazel about us feeling poorly, possibly due to the thingy in our head, and as a result of that, because I don't want to turn into a Lilithid, I had her kill me, because you know it's what Pheak would want. But well, let's see. That's the thing I just picked up. It was a ring of poison resistance, wasn't it? Yeah, here, ring of poison resistance. That's pretty nice. I think I'll give that to Karlak.
Don't burn yourself.
There you go. Poison damage is halved against this entity. Or poison damage against this entity for magical attacks is halved. Poison damage against this entity for non-magical attacks is halved. Okay, cool. Yeah, so
Let's get going.
it made me think that there is a timer in the game for this first part.
All right.
No thanks. I'm gonna reload. I don't want to go through there just yet. However, I had a read, and it doesn't seem like there is a timer. So I guess it's just a little flavorful event which can occur. Probably after so many days. I don't really like looking up things for the game because I want to discover it for myself, but it was something I wasn't sure about. It did feel weird if the game would have something where it's like, oh, sorry, you took too long. You just have to, you know. Oh, hey, we've actually got a campsite in a dungeon. That's cool. Yeah, we haven't had the cutscene, because last time the cutscene happened as soon as I came into the camp. Okay, everyone's here. That's nice, actually. We have different locations for our camp, depending on where we rest. Yeah, I guess we are just packing up the camp and taking it with us. It's just, when it was outside, it made me think it was like in a specific location. But it's just generalization. Okay.
I want to have a word.
How's it going, Lazel? Are you going to cut my throat again?
Speak.
Nope. Okay. Karlak,
Soldier.
you got a teddy bear there. Clive. A knitted toy bear stuffed with soft fur. Aw. Lovely malty beer. Okay.
With haste.
Shadowheart, you've been following us.
All's well, I hope. Aside from the obvious.
Yeah, we're going fine. Something strange happened. That artifact you carry, it seemed to just come to me. Oh, I'm glad I could raise this.
I know. I don't understand how exactly, but I felt it go to you. It's important. Keep it close.
Explain to me what the heck it is. You don't want it back?
I do, but the artifact has a will of its own, and powers to enforce it. It likely won't let me take it back. The best I can do is to stay close. Bide my time. Eventually, I'll need to take it. Then, I'll have to see what can be done about that.
How did you get this artifact to begin with?
I suppose, if we're going to keep helping each other, I might as well tell you.
About time.
I was part of a group sent to retrieve it. Bring it to Baldur's Gate for our goddess. I worship Shah,
Yeah, I already know
the
that.
mistress of the night.
You're not telling me what it
Mission
is.
to deliver the artifact to her secret cloister in Baldur's Gate.
Oh, I knew you had to deliver it to people there.
It hurts.
Ah, you got a geese. Okay.
Now that you have the truth, please don't make a big fuss about it.
I'll decide whether to make a fuss or not. Hard to trust someone who's holding out on me. You could have told me. How long were you going to keep it secret? I didn't agree to join up with a Shah worshipper. I honestly don't care. I don't care who you worship. We have bigger problems. Yeah, I don't care who you worship. We have bigger
True.
problems.
I didn't think you'd react so pragmatically. Perhaps I should have told you sooner.
You should have. I asked, and you didn't. In future, I expect you to be more honest. Let's leave it at that for now. I can't trust you. Best we travel separately now. Now that the truth is out, tell me more.
All right. As I said, Shah is my patron, my mistress.
No, I meant about the
Goddess
artifact.
of darkness and loss. I assume you've heard
I
of her.
don't care about the goddess. I want to know about the artifact. Whatever.
Curious. Most are afraid of my lady. I think I did well by joining you. Most agreeable company.
I wanted to ask about the artifact, not Shah. Whatever. It's like, look, as long as it's not someone like Oriel or Umberly, so, you know, or Talos. Cyric? I think there's worse gods than Shah. At least from my limited knowledge. You could be worshipping, what's his name? Vector. Isn't he a god at the moment now? That wouldn't be too much of a problem either, really. He's just a necromancer god. So, you know, like, advance the field of necromancy and get ancient lore. You could be worshipping Lolth. And we have spiders all up in its place. Anyway, whatever. Why were you in pain before?
The wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow.
So you knew more than you were letting on before? I hope you'll be more honest in future. Right. We've already said that. Why would Shah subject you to such a thing? Because she's like that. What causes it to hurt you? How can you manage living with such a thing? Is there anything I can do to help you with it? I could cut your hand off. What causes it to hurt you?
It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random.
Ah, we've got a god who does things for the laughs.
There's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure.
Fine. I mean, I don't really care. Again, yes. Yeah, I hope you'll be more honest in future.
I'll try my best.
I'll reinforce that position.
Secrecy is ingrained in me. Lady Shah considers it greater protection than any shield or armor.
Whatever. Okay. Bye. She didn't tell me what the artifact is, still. It's just, oh, we needed to find it. Shah wanted it, and we're going to deliver it to Baldur's Gate. Okay.
Well met.
She already told me that. Not specifically that it was to her cloister of Shah worshippers, but we also know it's related to the Githyanki. It has Githyanki runes on it.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
He's looking a little bloody there, mate. I don't know. Tell me about yourself. I think I
What's
already
to
know.
tell? I was sired by a vampire named...
Yeah,
Everything before that
think...
is so long ago, it's ancient history. And everything that came after, well, I'd rather not reflect on
Okay,
it.
I think this is a little new. Yeah. You must remember your life before that.
I was a magistrate, working to keep the peace in Baldur's Gate, imprisoning troublemakers, that kind of thing. I can't remember much, truth be told. Centuries of torment will do that to you.
How were you turned?
I was attacked. A gang of vagrants, a tribe of wandering Gur, took issue with a ruling I'd made. They beat me to death's door when Cazador appeared. He chased them off and offered to save me, to give me eternal life. Given that my choices were eternal life or bleed to death on the street, I took him up on the offer.
Yeah.
It was only afterwards I realized just how long eternity could be.
Spending a lot of time twiddling your thumbs. Another segue here. A book I really like is called Belgarath the Sorcerer by David and Lee Eddings. They have done a few series, the Belgariad, as well as... Oh, I forget what their other series are called. But the Belgariad is pretty much like the hero's journey to a T. Specifically, it's written in a way which is extremely... not predictable, but it follows all the tropes of the hero's journey. Exactly. You know, the young person who has a destiny which they don't agree with, the aged mentor, the, you know, the love interest which they meet in unexpected circumstances and they don't like each other to begin with, but they end up liking each other later on. They've got a party of the people which have like the jokester, the, you know, the short-worded warrior, and so on and so forth. The big evil bad, you got the MacGuffin, which I have to take to defeat it, and all that. It's written in that way for a reason, because David Eddings wanted to prove that you could have a very generic storyline and still make a really good story. I really like it. The characters are really neat in it. Belgarath the Sorcerer is a kind of a prequel to the Belgarian series. It's written from the perspective of the aged mentor, Belgarath the Sorcerer. And it's him writing this autobiography of what he remembers about his early life up until, I think, when the events of the Belgarian starts, which is about, I want to say about maybe 3,000, 5,000 years of history. He's about 3,000 to 5,000 years old by the time the Belgarian starts, and he makes a point in saying that it's like, you know, I don't know why people would want to read this. A lot of the time, I was just sitting around in my tower waiting for specific events to happen so that I could be really active for like a month in making sure that these things occurred as they were supposed to. And then we go back to just waiting centuries for the next event to occur. It's just like, it's just funny, the funny perspective from him, where it's like, you know, he's really wise, and he's really sort of a powerful follower of this of his god Alder, but it's just funny the way it's just it goes into things like, oh, I was doing experiments in my tower, and one of them was I put a gem underneath a step to see how long it would take for the gem to be ground down to dust. But then he forgot that it was underneath the step.
And because the step was wobbly, because the gem was underneath it, he always avoided the step. So, completely ruining the point of the experiment. But he doesn't remember it, so it's just like, oh, well, whatever. Anyway, I do recommend the books to people if you haven't read it. Anyway, tell me about your history.
Why do you insist on exhuming the past?
Oh.
I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again.
Okay. Bye. I guess it's good to know where you came from.
Here goes nothing.
Yeah, what's with the door? Ornamental piano. Oh, okay, that's my chest of goodies. Can I play this? Okay. Excellent. Camera is a little awkward sometimes. They could increase... They could improve the whole fading out. It seems like, yeah, like here. The camera's too far away from the wall to fade it out, even though my character's behind it. It should really fade it out if my character is obstructed by an object, rather than proximity to the wall or the object. Books. Oh, hey, it's with us. That's where you are. Okay. There's a training dummy. Okay, let's just have a snooze. Long rest. Or maybe we'll get the event now. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. I'll, try to...
The air is heavy.
Okay.
Moisture drips down.
Make a way
The
to
world
discover it.
swims as you close, then reopen your eyes. How long have you been waiting here? A moment? A night? A 10-day?
Okay. Cue Lazel.
Chuck your gate.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can you feel it?
Yes, yes. We've seen this.
I will be. Your minds intertwine. You sense a touch of uncertainty, a touch of disgust.
Situation. We're just exhausted. Ooh, I get 2 rolls. Hey! It's still too low. By 1, because I'm ugly. Kind of.
It feels as if a snake is slithering through every limb. My throat burns like flames erupted within. This is not exhaustion. This is ceremorphosis. Close your eyes. Submit.
Let's see. I'm going to... Oh, I've got forbidden knowledge, right. I get a bonus to that. Let me see. Let me into your mind.
Your mind lurches, reeling suddenly as if bitten.
No.
Lae'zel's fear grips you. Not fear of death, but fear of insignificance. The great warrior Lae'zel, a failure to her kind. She will wield no silver sword, ride no red dragon. Forever unknown to the great Lich Queen Vlaakith.
I guess be strong. You'll survive this. You'll please your queen.
I cannot trust my own mind. So it seems I must trust yours. I will wait. But know this. I am watching. If the sickness does not pass come dawn, I will end us all.
Okay, fair enough. Blarg, 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 blarg. What now? What's this?
I came just in time.
Oh, it's you.
You are transforming.
What the hell is the Durga sitting over me? Are you my guardian angel? Why is it a Durga? Who the hell are you? I've had enough crawling around in my head already. Yeah, really. I know your voice. I've heard it before. Who the hell are you?
Your salvation. And not for the first time. I saved you before.
Oh. When I fell? I thought that was a brain worm.
Well, I'm here to save you again. Don't worry. You will not become a mind flayer. Not while I'm around. I'll protect you.
If recoil from any help, get up on your own. Take the hand offered to you. And get up on my own.
Independent. Good. We haven't much time, so listen closely. There is great potential within you. It comes from that parasite. Your instinct is to resist the power it gives, but you must accept it. Nurture it. I will keep it from consuming you. But for the sake of both of us, you must learn to wield it.
I am suspicious. What about my other party members? Oh, it's a skeletal space.
A fight we are losing. For now. You can change that. But only if you embrace your potential. I have to go. The enemy is closing in. I will be back.
They're like psychic rangers or something.
Wake now. You'll feel better. I promise.
Nice beard though. Yeah. The nomenclature of the young. This sounds sus. Yeah, it's Like, I'm always kind of wary of anyone who says that I need to do things. Especially when it's like, oh, I have a brain worm. It's like, Dream Rangers. Mighty Morphin Dream Rangers. Okay. Hey, Scratch. What's up to you?
Pants through a ball held firmly in his mouth.
Yeah, where'd you find that? Wrestle the ball from his strength. Sleight of hand. Distract him with one hand and slip the ball from his jaws with the other. Encourage him to drop the ball. I'm too ugly, it won't work. I got strong. Wow, I need a roll of 15.
He relinquishes the ball. It is well chewed and slick with drool.
The narrator seems odd. Pet him. I just pocket the ball. Come on, you have to throw it. Barely, yeah. Dog nearly beat me. Wiggle, wiggle. Oh, I like how his nose wiggles. Okay. Item received. Ball! The exterior of this toy ball is rough with tooth marks. Tooth marks. Well, let's see. Huh. It just pops into his inventory. It's just like bounced into his inventory. It's like it's hitching a ride on his back. Pocketing the ball without cleaning it, yeah. Okay, well, good that we were able to have a rest. Hey, Lazel. No, you're not Lazel. Lazel, did you have a weird visitor?
Glick. I had a dream. As we all did, I suspect. Someone came to me and promised to protect me, while claiming that the parasite could empower me.
Sounds familiar.
The parasite has taken root, it would seem. Every word, every promise. It is gate deception.
I am suspicious as well. If the parasite can empower us, I say we should let it. We could use the edge in combat. You're right, we should ignore this dream figure at all costs. Let's change the subject. I would say let's wait until we get further information before making a judgment. But, I don't know. I am suspicious. If he's keeping us from turning into an illithid, fine. However, like, Ceramorphosis can fail. It is possible for people to be implanted with a with an illithid tadpole and not transform, and they retain their personality and their they remain who they are, but they gain psionic powers in the process. Still like all the benefits without the downsides. For that to happen to all of us, however, at the same time, I feel it's like too rare of an event. I'm not given any other choices besides these. You suspect Laser would just berate you for adopting a wait-and-see option. Yeah. It's either black or white with her. You're right, we should ignore this dream figure at all costs.
A wise choice. These parasites are a threat to be destroyed, not an opportunity to be exploited.
I mean, it's basically the same thing, right? Ignore it, and then if something happens later on, I can say, hey, more information has come to light.
I had a wild dream last night. This beautiful entity came to me, promised to protect me, told me the parasite in our heads could give us power.
Mine was a Durgar, had a nifty beard. Sounds like a pretty intense dream. I detest talking about dreams. I had a similar dream. Side effect of a tadpole.
Sounds like it. What did you make of it?
I think it's some kind of psionic trick. I don't believe a word of it. It was just a dream, nothing more. If there's some kind of power to be unlocked from an affliction, I'm willing to try it. Well, I would say it's not just a dream. I don't really believe a word it said.
Damn right. Things like a splinter. We just need to find a way to squeeze it out.
I'm surprised it's able to survive in your head. Wouldn't it get burnt? Like, if your interior is so hot that people can't touch you, wouldn't the illithid tadpole just get burnt to a crisp?
Did you have any strange dreams of late?
It's magic, yeah.
Vivid ones.
It says sweating a little bit in there. It's got like SPF 5000 on. Happened to you as well?
Damn. I was hoping my imagination had gotten the better of me. But this must be something more. This dream companion wanted me to use the tadpole. Use its power. Whoever it was claimed to be an ally, but I don't know. It seems like we can't escape this mess. In the waking world or otherwise.
It's annoying having people constantly telling me what I should be doing. Okay. Why? I'm not particularly interested in getting relations with any of the characters.
I had a dream last night. A vivid one. And so did you, judging from the way my tadpole is tingling. Someone came to me and promised to protect me while claiming that the parasite could empower me. Tempting as these powers sound, we should recognize this dream for what it is. The tadpole's little trick.
People seem to be very
No good
singular-minded
ever
on
came from
this.
trusting honey-tongued strangers conjured
Astarion
up by
might be a bit
livid
different,
worms.
We should have as little to do with these tadpoles as we can.
Well said. This dream figure is no friend to us.
Okay. Astarion, you're probably going to be, hey, we should grab every advantage we
I
can.
had the strangest dream last night. There was a visitor promising me
Yep.
protection and all sorts of delicious powers from the parasites in our heads. Given our shared affliction, I suppose you had a similar dream.
I did.
Excellent. Now we can see what these tadpoles can do for us.
I wonder how that would work for a vampire. You're undead, aren't you? There are undead illithids, but I believe they're mages, they're not psionics. I don't trust it.
Is there a reason you're such an utter drip? I mean, do you have some sort of condition? Honestly, it's like you hate good news.
Hey,
Did you actually want something, or are you just here to spoil my fun?
don't flounce at me, lad. Such a drama queen. It's fantastic. I do like him. I think Karlach and Astarion are my favorite characters at the moment. Astarion because I like being blunt and obtuse with him. Like when he's asking, like, which of the party members' blood would you like to have? And I just like stringing him alone, just going like, what? You mean like eat them? He's like, no. Anyway. Illithid tadpoles work on fire creatures and vampires. Astarion is just a thrall. Yeah, he says he's a vampire spawn. He's not... Like... He says... that he might not count as undead? I don't know how it works in Dungeons and Dragons. He says he has the disadvantages of being a vampire. He can't go out during the day. He can't cross running water. He can't go where he's not invited. I don't know about holy places, probably. Maybe holy symbols. But, like, he's been surviving off of taking blood from beasts and not people. So... Yes, we've been fighting in daylight. He sort of said that, like, since he had the tadpole put in his head, he's been able to do things which he wasn't able to do before then. I think he mentioned that it's been like 200 years since he's actually been out during the day. So that's why I'm a little confused, because it's like, it sounds like he's undead. But then I could understand him not being undead because he's basically just a thrall. But, like, what happened? He just said before he was nearly murdered in an alley, and a vampire came to give him an offer of eternal life. So I guess he is a vampire, but he's under the control of his sire. It's like some kind of intermediary level between being human and being a full vampire. Like, I think he said he's not a full vampire, he's a vampire spawn, which is kind of like a step down from being a full vampire. and he has the potential to become a full vampire if his sire, I think, lets him drink his blood or something like that. So... I don't know how D&D vampires work. Strahd von Zarovich is like the only other one which I've seen, and Bodhi, but like Strahd is, you know, blah, I am Dracula type guy, and Bodhi is sort of was feral vampire in Graveyard. They are both definitely undead. But they didn't have... Bodhi had a lot of minions, but they were all vampires as well. Rather than being, like, spawn. There's one in modern literature called ghouls. Yeah, from, it's basically just human thralls, but they couldn't be the case here, because he said he has full weaknesses. So he's fully undead, but that means tadpoles work on him. So we could do this on things with enough protein. Zombies. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess, yeah, like a ghoul. I mean, do you mean that from, like, the White Wolf Vampire the Masquerade style thing? They're actually... ghouls in that are people, but they're, like, under the control of vampires, because they've drunk the vampire's blood. But they're not a vampire themselves. They get bonuses to the stats. They're not really the same thing. Maybe another settings term. Zombies aren't powerful enough to nourish illithid tadpoles. I guess they'd be kind of mindless too. I don't know. Ceramorphosis changes a lot depending on different species. They can do it on they can use it on dragons, and you get like a mind flayer dragon. There's other things as well. You were referring to World of Darkness? Right. It's just, at the power of tadpoles. Yeah, maybe things will make more sense in the future. Or maybe they won't. I don't know. I'm not terribly fussed in it. I'm just trying to sort things out in my head. To sort of understand exactly what I'm dealing with. Also, I find it fun to speculate on things. Mind Flayer Beholders. Are those a thing? Don't actually remember. I don't think so. I think Mind Flayers hate Beholders enough that they wouldn't make them. What's this? Elegant pen strokes trace out a map of the local area. The goblin's den is indelibly marked in greenish ink. The word Chironthar waves across the bottom with where the largest river flowed. 3 additional locations annotated. Caravan, Goblins, is scrawled in the northwest of the camp. Tollhouse, Knolls, marks the far north territory. Forest, Supplies, hovers over an arrow pointing to the forest just to the camp's east. Beneath, in small letters, between the laurel. Okay. I'll take that.
Might be useful.
Scroll of Blur. I'll take that. I haven't gotten the level up yet, and we've gotten, like, quite a few kills. 53 gold. The Water Sparkers. Electrify water. When the wearer stands in water during combat, it will become electrified. Water sparks. If the wearer starts their turn on an electrified surface, they gain 3 lightning charges. There's a lot of items which give you lightning charges. An enormous storm was raging for the first time the spark struck. These are all from the same character too. Left the Underdark. The deep gnome's interest in lightning became at once an all-consuming obsession, and they would spend the rest of their years striving to recreate that storm's power themselves. Oh, okay. So it's Swerve Nebulin trying to, like, harness the power of lightning. If you can mind play things, Beholder sounds good.
I have to wonder whether a beholder would be sane enough for it to work. Because I think beholders are like naturally insane, and it probably wouldn't work too well on them. But I mean, hey, whatever. I don't mean to shoot down ideas. It's an interesting one. What would it look like? Tentacles in place of its mouth or something. Maybe some of its eye stalks turn into feeding tentacles. That sounds familiar. Let me have a look. Oh, no, not Wikipedia. Let's see. Now, that's not a full wiki. There we go. I like saying illithid. They're commonly known as mind flayers. So I get less results because I look it up that way. Brain stealer, dragon, gnome ceramorph, mind witness. Yeah, there we go. Result of implanting a tadpole in a captive beholder. So it's possible. Mind witness. Yeah, it's a beholder with no mouth, blind eyes, and just like 4 feeding tentacles on the bottom. A mind witness greatly resembles its beholder parent, an orb-shaped being 6 feet in diameter, with a large central eye on its body and 10 smaller eyes on stalks emerging from the top. However, a mind witness's mind flayer influence made an already horrifying creature arguably even more so. Its fanged mouth was replaced with one more akin to that of a lamprey. Oh, great. And its maw was surrounded by 4 large octopus-like tentacles. I don't like lampreys. A mind witness's body was, like that of a beholder, naturally buoyant, allowing it to fly and granting its effect much like that of a featherfall spell. Its many eyes gives it 360-degree vision, innate ability to resist spells, and were able to project an anti-magic field in a cone in front of them. They were able to communicate telepathically, and was able to speak its own language and common. In combat, Mind Witness behaved, unsurprisingly, much like a combination of Mind Flayer and Beholder, using both the flight and eye rays of a Beholder and the Illithid's fearsome psionic and brain extraction powers. Mind Witness would typically begin by unleashing a Mind Blast, follow up by eye rays from its 10 stalked eyes. It had Charm Monster, Charm Person, Disintegrate, Fear, Finger of Death, Flesh to Stone, Inflict Moderate Wounds, Sleep, Slow, and Telekinesis. Also able to use the psionic spells Charm Monster, Detect Thoughts, Levitate, and Suggestion. And it could also attack physically with its tentacles. Okay, yeah, basically just a copy of a version of both of them. A beholder that eats brains. Yeah, instead of the entire person. Oh, hey. I mean, you're a goblin, but...
Praise his ever-bleeding axe. Praise his throne of flaming iron. Praise Maglubiet.
You know Maglubiet, a tyrannical deity who treats his goblinoid followers as slaves.
Yeah.
Trying to interrupt my prayers? Scared of a real god? You're as gormless as the rest of them.
Gormless? How'd you land yourself in that cage? Everyone else is worshipping someone else. Pray to whoever you want, it's a free world. Gormless? I'm not the one behind bars. Maglubiet's a tyrant. Your people are better off without him. Nah, let's not aggravate him. Yeah, pray to whoever you want, it's free world.
Oh, that's rich.
Yeah.
A free world? And how come I'm locked up like a bloody elf? I'll tell you why. 'Cause I'm loyal to Maglubiet. 'Cause I ain't having my head turned by some upstart god.
Maglubiet, okay. God's a pickle. Maglubiet doesn't give a damn about you. I assume you mean the absolute.
Yeah. My old tribe's fallen for this shite. Traitorous bastards.
Oh, you were the leader before.
Absolute brings us together. Drow and gnolls and goblins all braiding one another's hair. It's a load of shite.
You don't like your people mixing with outsiders? Seems to be working out pretty well for them, actually. Well, they're all dead now. I've been busy.
Talking to you, ain't I? I just don't believe in all this togetherness and chumminess. Ain't natural.
It was easier when goblins were evil creatures, and I didn't have to think about whether I'd just kill them all. Actually, I've already done that. Never mind.
Sod 'em all. I'll wait it out in here, praying to a real god.
Back when the world was simpler.
Traps. How considerate.
There's a few other people in there. Back in my day, we just fireballed you and moved on. Yeah. Mutual respect. Adventurers in the old days, you knew where you stood with them. Now, who knows? I do like that they've fleshed out the whole goblins thing, but... Oi! Pheak! You were supposed to, fire an arrow. Oh well. Grease away! I really should have been using grease. It is so useful. So like, oh, sorry, you can't do anything now. Ow. I'd see if you were one that was urinating. Yeah. Yeah. The ones outside were doing that too. All the alcohol they were drinking. Oh, why can't you jump? Oh, you don't have enough movement. Okay, fair enough.
Good. Again.
Who said that? Is that damn Durgar? Get out of me head.
My breath.
Don't tell me how to kill things. Oh, why don't I have enough movement? Oh, right, because I moved over it, yeah, to fire the arrow, and then combat started. Okay.
That won't work.
Stop! Stop telling me how to fight. Leave me alone.
Fuck yes.
Excellent.
Is this gonna happen every time? One hit point. Finish him off. Good.
Yes.
Go have some goblin. There we go. Ow. Okay, maybe it was just once every person. Oh no! Hang on. Not enough movement. Oh well, never mind. I so want to push him down the hole. But I want the loot he's got. It's right there. I could just boop, and push him down the hole. But I want to loot him. He's probably got nothing of value apart from some money. I don't know that. Finish him off. Yeah, it's just go. Whatever. Poof. There we go.
Slow down.
Press this, spent the effort making animations like that.
What's in here?
This is all worth like 30 gold each. Hey, thief tools. It's like 120 gold right there. That will cover the cost of me learning 2 spells. There's a stool here and a bunch of bottles. 4 wooden barrels. You saw a trap. Where? Would you like me to set you free or something? Gold lantern. Oh yeah. How tasteful. Really brings the room together. There's those spiders down here too. Oh boy. Ooh, okay. Big room. Booyah, True Soul, Warlock, Tracker, Torturer, Lookout, Devout. Yeah, I've killed all your leaders. You should probably run. They're gonna run out that way. Others are gonna run up the stairs. Do I have...
Can't stay idle.
The dance macabre.
Time to push my luck again.
Send to Estelle.
Go for the throat.
Okay. Toss it there or on the stairs? You know, that's actually quite a good plan.
This way.
Run over to here. Toss the grease there. Okay, you can't attack again. That's fine. Hide behind the wall. Actually, maybe get up there. Oh, hang on. Climb the ladder. I was trying to see up there. Okay. Go over here. I could have actually run you up here, thrown the grease and then done it, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's up on the rafters. Okay. Switch over to bow. Go there. You've got an explosive barrel I could throw. Oh, you have to move closer. Interesting. So you can only throw it so far, but because we were up in the rafters, we could throw it. We weren't throwing it very far, but yeah, okay. Neat. That requires an action. That gets an extra action. Is that an extra action or a bonus action? Extra action. So that would let me throw it. You have 15. You have 15. Is there going to be much other fighting? There's all those wargs. I don't think there's anything over there. That's the storeroom where we got all the barrels from. Okay, go here. Use that. Throw barrel. Move back. End turn. If one of you steps in that while you're on fire, I'm pretty sure it won't go well for you. Oh, the statues are unstable. Interesting. You can knock them over too. Okay, go over here. Toss this here. Excellent. Just stand there.
Never a dull moment.
Okay, 2. I could give you an action surge as well. Yeah. Through soul gut. Yeah, hit him. Okay, well, we broke his concentration. Okay. So you're there. Move you up to the ledge. You got 7 hit points. $60, $75.
Again.
You missed. Ugh. Oi! Get! Oh! He just yanked him down. A guard's been killed. You don't say. I like how they all count as witnesses. He's fine. He just took 10 damage for falling. He bounced. Yeah, use that. Okay. rally Astarion while he's lying broken on the ground. Okay. How resistant to fire are you? Halved. Oh, hang on. Okay. Never mind. You gotta run through flame to get there. Okay.
I've got it.
Run there. Run up here. There we go.
Well, so much for peace.
He's still on fire, so I don't think the chances of putting him to sleep are too high. Don't have to shoot you now, because we're not up in the rafters. You have 8 health, because of the extra hit points you got. Yeah, use that.
Try something else.
Oh, he missed. Ah. Okay, fires are all out. Astarion's up. Good. Nope. Ow. Not enough movement. That's not ideal. Finish him off. There we go. Good. That broke his concentration. Very good. Get.
I keep thinking I'm hearing something, but I think it's just some of the background sound effects in the game.
You've made a great mistake.
Yeah, missed. Okay. Poor Astarion. Yeah. Finish him off if you can. Excellent. Shoot Goblin up in rafters, please. You missed.
Over here.
You missed.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
Very good.
Let's cook with fire, baby.
There we go.
There's an elitid parasite in that corpse. You should take a look.
Guardian, stop talking to me. It's weird. A headless horde. Kill every leader in the goblin camp. Good. Absolute's Warboard. Absolute's Ward. If the wielder bears the Absolute's brand, they gain a +1 bonus to saving throws. Heroism. Level 1 enchantment spell. Make yourself or a target immune to frightened and gain 5 temporary hit points each turn. Okay. Absolute's Talisman. If the wearer bears the Absolute's brand, they have advantage on death saving throws. I guess you could join up with them and you'd be able to get it that way. Absolute's Talisman Aid. Rancid Note. That slobber-chopped druid who was nosing around ain't just some tomb robbing adventurer type. Calls himself Halson. Ugly name for an ugly bastard. I had a little word or two with him before the lashes put his hairy ass in the pens. Oh, he's down with the wargs. Said he thinks there's something rotten inside us. Inside me. Reckons he can help get rid of the rot. I told him we don't need any help from nobody. Never did. And especially not now that the Absolute's taken a shine to us. I say there's to be something rotten inside of him soon enough. There's a lot of ransom meat down in the pens, and when we cut him open, I make sure he stays alive long enough for the maggots to take a nest in him. Okay. Well, that doesn't bode well.
This one is a true soul parasite. It can enhance you. You can absorb its potential. Open your mind to it. You already know how.
Open your mind to the tadpole. I mean, it's friggin' ugly. I'm not sure about this. No, I'm not doing that.
You are not ready. That's all right. But try to overcome this resistance sooner rather than later. It will make things much easier for you.
But we thrive against adversity. Priestess's key. Rotten eggs. Oh, what do you want?
You know, If that parasite isn't to your taste, I'd be happy to consume it in your stead. I don't relish the thought, but if you're going to just leave it sitting in your pack, well, one of us should try it.
I'm surprised. I didn't think you were interested in a slimy tadpole. Throw it in my pack if you want it. It's mine, don't touch it. Surprised I didn't think you'd be interested in a slimy tadpole.
Oh, I have my reservations, no question. First of all, it looks disgusting.
Yeah, it does.
Second, there's a non-zero chance that it'll turn me into a purple glistening monster.
I would prefer
not.
not.
Who knows what kind of power we could unlock? And power is always worth a little risk.
Well, Will got horns from that. Mine, don't touch it.
So that's how it is. A pity. Because if you continue to get between me and what I want, I will have to find a way through you. Just something to think about.
Yeah, lad. Okay.
No traps, please.
See, me risking myself is okay. You're putting us at risk, though. That's another story. So you're saying we should kill you now? Yeah, I mean, you would if you turn into another thing, we'd just have to deal with you right there and then.
These boots have seen everything.
Torturer's key. Ooh, nice. More vials. I guess it'd be like a lawful evil type, maybe? He's not really evil, just more opportunistic. Lawful neutral?
Anything of use?
Okay, we have to go deal with... Get that body, which is all the way up in the rafters. Why'd that rat go, Did you hear something? It sounded like a rat going hum. Sleet storm. Call forth a storm that disrupts the concentration of spellcasters, douses fires, and creates an ice surface. Okay. That's a new spell on me. Looks like a scroll. What did I expect? Silver chalice, malachite, gold. I see someone on a rack down there. Oh, there's another chest over there, I think. Yes. Go and look at that. Silver band. Scroll of dark vision. Gust of wind. Detect thoughts. Ooh, hang on. Summons a strong wind that clears all clouds and pushes creatures back 5 meters, forcing them off balance. That would have been useful when I was up in the rafters. Blow people off. Liam. Okay. Don't see anyone else down there. Oh well.
Climb down. Okay.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
What are these ratties? Squeak. Oh, it's cute. Screed of the willing.
Put my hands on everything.
Honesty, love, wrath, many traits are divine. This is only one that we possess and the gods do not. Pain. I don't know about that. Our most holy mistress invites us to revel in that which makes us mortal, to embrace pain, so she may look upon us and know we are truly living. For what is a life without the sting of agony, without the anguish of heartbreak? It is the life unlived, a life wasted, hiding from the joys of the world. In Lovitar's name, I ask you to live, to dig your nails into your skin and know that you are alive, to know that the greater the pain, the more exalted the life. Whether your pain comes from a claws, the scourge, or an ache in your soul, know that our maiden is watching over you. She sees your suffering, and she loves you for it. Isn't that basically Ilmater? Ilmater's about, like, there's a finite amount of suffering in the world, and by inflicting suffering on yourself, you're saving other people from it. Hey, how's it going? How's it hanging?
No, no. Please. Oh, don't hurt me.
That depends on the answers you give me. I'm here to help.
I need to get out of here.
What do the goblins want with you?
The grove. To the east. They wanted to know where we came from. They'll kill everyone.
Oh, you're a druid.
Please. Get me out of here.
Sleight of hand. Pick the lock. Oh, you're one of the adventurers. The druid Halson was with you. Where is he now?
I don't know. He changed into a bear, but I lost sight of him. I don't know if he's still alive.
Okay. I'll get you free.
Thank you.
Pick the lock. You failed to pick the lock. The, rack tears him in two. Like, how do I fail that bad? You see a wheel and you spin it. Oops.
The lock clicks and opens.
Everyone just, like, looks down. Well?
Thank you. I better go before they catch us.
They won't. They're all dead.
I should be able to make it to the grove on my own. They need to know they're in danger.
Not anymore. They're all dead. How did you end up on the rack?
I was with a group of adventurers. We came here for an artifact. It's called the Night Song. We tried to sneak past the goblins.
What's this look like?
But they ambushed us. I didn't think a pack of goblins could be so efficient.
The artifact, what does it do?
I don't know. The boss didn't say. He just said some wizard called Larian would reward us if we found it. It should be here, somewhere. He said there was a hidden passage underneath the temple. The place was supposed to be abandoned, but when we arrived...
Did you not notice the camp of goblins outside this place? It's kind of hard to miss. And you're druids. Wouldn't you be able to ask, like, creatures nearby? Oh, is there anything odd in the forest recently? They'd be like, oh yeah, there's some goblins have been eating all of the boars in the area. What else do you know about the temple? Any other treasure?
I'm not sure. All I know is there's a passageway to the Night Song. Brian had instructions, but the goblins got him. They said they'd eat him.
Was he a dwarf? I have some dwarf shank in my leg, in my backpack.
I have to get out of here.
Yeah, okay, fine. Fine. Go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whee! Hey, bullywug trumpet. Right, yeah, bullywugs. Those are those toad people. Where's this go? Oh no, he didn't make it. Poor Liam. Oh, there's actually nothing over this way. Okay. We let him out of a sight for a minute and he just died and turned into a skeleton. We're not very good at our job for plot reasons. He left me a payment. Yeah, he had a gem on him. Very nice. I don't know where he hid it while he was being tortured, but... anyway. Oh, what's this? Gribbo. Oh, there's Volo. Okay.
Another fight. Let's go.
Slightly drunk. Right, this is where they took
Cut to
Volo.
the chase.
Thank you.
I'm ready. To the death.
Dab, dab, dab.
A timely intervention.
Yeah, hello again. Sorry for killing your gal. Rotten cheese. Ooh, apples.
Ah, my friend, we can speak freely.
How old is Volo
I'm
by
in no
now?
hurry to take my turn on that spit out front. Perhaps you'd be so kind as to unlock this cage?
I guess if he's friends with Elminster, he's probably got, you know, a few benefits in that area. How did you end up in this place? Well, I know how. I talked to him in the druid camp, and he said, "Oh, I'm going off to talk to the goblins to see what's going on."
Curiosity, my friend. It didn't benefit the cat, but it's the foundation of my career.
Yeah.
Though I admit I've hit something of an impasse. Please unlock my cell.
I'm sure you could squeeze yourself through those bones. I'll think about it, no promises. What career could possibly involve getting locked up by goblins?
Volothamp Gedam, realm renowned.
I already know who you are, but...
Author and tastemaker at your service.
Alright, I'll get you out.
Bless you, my friend. I'll wait nicely, but please don't tarry.
Oh. Can I just attack the door? Don't want to lockpick it. Nope.
Keep a blade close. A crooked touch.
Apparently Volo has some plot armor that protects him, not specific to this game, it's general lore. Yeah, I expected as much. I know who Volo is. He's like one of the major characters of the sort of Forgotten Realms setting. So.
Look at this. I'm quite saved. A joy to see a familiar face in such a precarious setting.
I don't know if you've met
I
a
guarantee
Starian.
the story of your daring rescue of my person will live on for eons.
Okay. You know what else lives on for aeons? Gold. You owe me.
Oh, what's a bit of metal between allies, hmm? I'll do one better. Tell me where we can meet each other once we've slipped the goblin yoke. And I'll offer much more than gold. Knowledge, my friend, is priceless.
Well, Pheak agrees. I wish it would have switched to, like, the nearest character. This would make sense for Pheak. I already know, the goblins took him. Get to my camp. You go your way, I'll go mine. Yeah, we'll talk there.
Smashing!
Smash
Soon,
it!
my friend. Soon we can share a flagon of something liquid and a tale of daring do. I'll slip away when the coast is clear. See you soon, my friend. I simply can't wait to pick your brain.
Yeah.
Just imagine that was Pheak talking there.
Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
Don't know how it affects his aging though, but he is the wizard. Yeah, he's like a bard mage or something, isn't he? Actually, might be able to check that in Baldur's Gate manual. I think it might have his class in it. Chaotic good human male, wizard 5th level. Oh, okay, he's not a bard at all. He's just a wizard. At least in Baldur's Gate 1. Back in 1997 or whenever it came out, 1998. So, hello, welcome, welcome. Also welcome Iron Priest and Wex. I always took him to be a bard with like
Let's have a look.
wizard as subclass, but I guess he is just a wizard.
Speak.
No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to loot the burlap sack on the ground behind you. Is there anything else in here? Dearest Elminster. Ooh, hey, there's a letter from Volo. I must be brief as I am under some duress. Also, I was just wondering whether what it would be like if Volo was voiced by Tim Curry. Having become the esteemed guest of a rambunctious host of goblins, I would, of course, rather be under duress than under a feathered duvet. For danger and adversity are the very ink of my well, so this is good news indeed. As you well know, there is no wit quicker and no tongue more silvered than that of your humble friend and scribe, and by regaling my would-be foes with tales of goblin heroics, I have become an indispensable member of their tribe, namely their chronicler and bard. In this guise, I shall live among them a while so that I may observe their peculiar habits and rituals as closely as possible. All of this shall, of course, be documented in my next magnum opus, my life among the conquering host, to be available at all good booksellers forthwith. An enticing extract is enclosed with this missive. I implore you to spread the word so that adventurers and curiosity seekers across the Sword Coast and beyond will be aquiver with anticipation of this life-extending and soul-enriching guide. And with that, I must depart. I am summoned to sing a ballad of my own composition, and the lady, yes, I call her a lady, who delivered the summons is rather impatient, not to mention well-armed. Truth be told, I believe she has some, dare I say, deep affection for me. She calls me her pigeon, and rarely strays from my side. Perhaps there shall be a chapter in my book regarding goblin marriage rituals. I balk at nothing in my quest for knowledge. Until we meet again, inform the world entire of the diligent research I am undertaking, and ensure word of my upcoming masterwork is on the lips of every innkeeper and sellsword from Waterdeep to Baldur. Follow. Okay. Please come help me. I messed up again. It won't be voiced by Brian Blessed.
Another step forward.
Bit loud for that. Don't tell me something's happened to Brian. Oh no. Let's see. Investigate the temple. Right, that's just like another exit over there. I think we've actually cleared this all out. Okay. Next is the wargs area down there.
That put the wind back in my sails.
We'll have a rest, and I'm going to have a quick break, and then we'll continue down further where the wargs are. So I'll pause the recording here, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, and we're back. Also, I just checked. Nothing's happened to Brian Burleson. Let's see. I think we've cleared out everywhere up here. So yeah, let's go down and deal with the wargs. And see if we can rescue Halson, or whatever his name is.
Right, what are we looking at? A Butcher Vrak, Beastmaster Zerk, Brawler Burka. There's a Cave Bear. Okay, that's going to be the Druid. And there's Fur in there, a Warg, and Tail. So I guess if we manage to pull that lever, we'd be able to open it and let him out. He might help. There's a water barrel there. Oh. Okay, you're right there. 15. Yeah. Go and attack him. Stab, stab, stab. Wow. There's 14 damage, 1 hit point left. It's like making an interesting abstract either. Don't attack. Oh, the children are down here. Well, there's no guards left. Don't worry about it. Ooh, okay. That's an option.
Tactical.
We'll focus on the others, though.
I will ascend. No time to waste.
Okay. Concentration. Oi! Go into the room. Everything just goes insane and starts attacking all the walls and all that. Okay, I need to dash. Get down there.
Keep going.
Oh, the child's going to attack me when I try to get past him. Well, whatever. One. 3. If they run past me, am I going to try and, like, auto-attack them? Oh, cool. Grr. Oh, you might deal with the, Gobbo children for me.
Keep guessing.
I won't have to worry about the ethical quandaries. Okay.
The hammer's gonna fall.
It's a little weird that it, like, she attacks twice and then it pops up, or the way it pauses the game asking you whether you want to use a reckless attack. I feel like it should ask that before she swings, just because it kind of interrupts the animation. Looks a little odd. Ah, whatever. You can't shoot him, can you? Oh, you can. Very good. Shoot him again. Oh. No, you can't. Very good. Okay. They're gonna break the gates down eventually. Like next turn, but we won't have to worry about them. And you miss. Okay. Wonk! Wonk!
You going to go after the wargs? Yep. Now don't die.
Let's move.
I am fury.
Just after I freed you.
No time to waste.
Put him up.
Okay.
Covered.
On my way.
Okay. Saved against the poison. Oh, okay, he's healing. It's not as big of a problem as I thought it would be.
They won't know what bit them.
Very nice, 12 hit points.
Victory awaits.
And you miss.
Some more blood.
Okay. Miss me. Good, you won't be stealing our experience. Okay. Hey, buddy! I have been... Ooh. Shoes. Okay, good, you gotta wait? Okay.
Have to keep going. What's hiding here?
More grease bottles. Fire amber, gold,
Let's have a look.
silver glass, silver plate. Oh, there was some... Well, they're fire wine barrels. They're not the, smoke powder barrels. Thank you for taking out that one goblin. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Equipment chests. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Heavy stone. Spider silk cocoon. Heavy stones. Dead elf.
For me?
What?
Decaying legs protrude from the hole. A failed escape, it seems.
Inspect the body.
It seems the tunnel collapsed mid-dig and suffocated him. A crooked heart is embroidered on his left shoe.
Pull the body free. His leg comes off.
The body comes loose, revealing a tunnel. Perhaps you can escape where he failed.
I don't need to. Who needs to escape? From what? Oh, I guess this is a prison cell where you end up getting put if you get captured. Okay. Well, good thing we didn't get captured. Okay. Hey, doodad, how's it going? Are you a potential party member too? Level 5 wood elf. You have a unique look to you. Possibly. So,
Pardon the viscera. One should cherish all of nature's bounty, but goblin guts are quite far down the list. You aided a bear without knowing if it would savage you.
I knew
a
you.
true friend of nature. Or perhaps a lunatic. Either way, I owe thanks. I am the druid Halsin.
Yeah, I know who you are. Glad I could help. Glad I could be of help. You're Halsin, the Master Halsin of the Emerald Grove. I spoke to Nettie. She said you could help me with a parasite in my head. I've heard you're an unmatched healer. I need your help. I've been to the Emerald Grove. It's in danger. Unless there's another camp full of goblins nearby, I don't think they're in danger anymore. It's not safe. No, it's quite safe now. Everyone's dead. Inside, outside. We're quite efficient. I see your armor there is making some weird movements. There's something wrong with the, like, these, vertices? Which these are attached to, or the bone these are attached to is, is wrong. So they're stretching. I see this happen in Warhammer 3 sometimes. I spoke to Nettie. She said you could help me with the parasite in my head.
Parasite in your head? You mean you have one of them?
Yes.
Oak Father preserve you, child. You're infected, aren't you? The Mind Flayer's spawn.
Rather.
But something's different. You're aware of the monster inside you. You don't bow to the Absolute like the true souls do. How is this possible?
Shrug. I don't know. I escaped from an illicit ship after being infected. Maybe the process was interrupted. I think this artifact has something to do with it. So, they were apparently searching for an artifact. This artifact... Shadowheart had it. And she had it before she got picked up by the Illithid ship. I don't know whether she would have gone through this temple to get it, if this is the same artifact that they were looking for here. It seems like kind of a coincidence, but it's an adventure, coincidences. Maybe the process was interrupted? Well, there's no process. You get it put in your head, a few days later, you get transformed. I'll show you it. I think this artifact has something to do with it.
That looks very alien.
No, maybe it's not the same
as
thing.
Alien as the Mind Flayers.
That's fine.
They do not belong on this world.
No,
you
they are.
Speaking lightly when you said you needed help. Let me tell you what I know. I've been studying these parasites for a while now. Ever since I discovered these so-called true souls are infected with them, someone is using very powerful magic to modify these tadpoles. They're using them to exert control over the infected. I'm sorry to say, I can't undo that magic, which means I can't cure you. But that doesn't mean I can't help. I didn't find what I came here for, a way to remove the tadpoles, but I found the next best thing. I found out where they come from. That must be where these enchantments are placed on them. And it's where you'll find your cure.
Does it happen to be Avernus? Tell me what you learned about the tadpole's origins. This magic isn't typical of how mind flayers procreate. Soft music and mood lighting. So all of this was for nothing? You learned all this from your studies. Tell me what you've learned about the tadpole's origins.
I overheard that the cultists are sending all of their captives to Moonrise Towers. Innocents go in, true souls come out. Given that all of these true souls are infected, it has to be the source for this magic. If you want to find a cure, you must head there and discover how the tadpoles are being manipulated. Alter
parasites, a cure at Moonrise Towers, maybe? Sounds like guesswork at best. At least I know what to do now, thank you. You seem to know a lot about this. Will you come with me to Moonrise? I mean, you're kind of needed at the Grove, but... Do I want a druid in my party? I don't know. I kind of have my party, but the Starian might get shirty and leave eventually. I mean, you know, whatever. It's more than what we've got off. Will you come with me?
Gladly, but first I must return to the Grove. As you made short work of the Goblins' leaders, there's nothing stopping me. Come join me in your own time. I can see to some matters there, and we can discuss what comes next amidst more bucolic surroundings than here.
Right. Poof! Oh, he turned into a rat and ran off. Okay. So, Lae'zel.
Speak.
Nothing to say. Okay. Never mind. Oh, a wooden chest I didn't open. Ooh, good thing I opened it. Some potions. Beastmaster's Chain. Animal Friendship. Convince a beast not to attack you. Show the beast the horns. And it will be more inclined to follow you because you're so metal. The creature must have an intelligence of 3 or less. Conditions end early if you or your ally hurts the target. In higher difficulty modes, the target might become hostile when the spell ends. Yeah, okay. Suspicious meat. Ooh, pork loins. Pig's head. What's this? It would be best to believe that this is just a very tall, very skinny pig. 7 torso. Yeah, we've already seen that. Ooh, a prison key. Hey, an arm. Heavy and slick with sweat and blood. This arm has a tendency to slip out of your hands. Can we use it as a blunt weapon? I want to play at Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Severed head. Ooh, that's kind of gruesome. The severed head of a young woman. The jaw is ripped off, locking her face in an eternal bloody scream. There's a foot. Foot has been roughly chopped off at the ankle. And a hand. The few remaining fingers on a hand have grown pallid, cold and stiff. Yeah, okay. I just sort of like reading the descriptions they've got for all the different bits. Hey, a silver tray. Like, that they cared to put details for all of them. It's pretty neat. Oh, I guess that's something else you can do. Use the smoke powder bomb to blow the door open. Options. Okay. Well, our work here is done. We didn't even get a level from all of that. Wow. How much experience do I need for my next level? $1,359. Okay. We got about half of it. I guess the creatures, when you kill them, they don't give you that much experience. It's only like 20 each, so... Completing the quests, I guess, gives you quite a bit more. I guess it's so that they can control the pacing for the game. I don't think there's anything else I particularly want in here. I guess we could come back if we need to. Oh! Well, there's some, goblins we didn't deal with. Trinzaz and Grog. Ah!
Let's have a little fun.
Good. Fifth edition, you think it's like 3rd edition, where XP is completely based off of how dangerous they are to you relatively. I'm level 5 now. Level 4. So level 2 stuff is probably going to give me piddling XP. That is true. Yeah, these goblins are level 2. Okay.
I won't give in.
That makes sense. Oh, there's other goblins in there too, not just them. Hello. Goodbye.
No word.
No choice but to keep going.
Was that 2 zeros you rolled? Can I make it so that the log down there shows dice rolls? Is the game making dice rolls? It might not. It might not be, actually. It might just be based off percentages. Come on, he's got 4 hit points. 1 hit point.
Now this is my happy place.
Good. Yeah, 20 experience for both of them. Okay. So there was a goblin up there. Goblin up there. Another one up there. Oh, there's and another one over there. Okay. I don't think I can. No, I can't use the rafters to get up there. Okay. I wonder if these barrels just summon goblins, or do they just alert the rest of the place?
On my feet.
Oh, you'd have to go up there.
Be quick.
Nyum. Very good. That's a long distance he just ran and attacked. That's pretty good.
Knees high.
Okay.
I will ascend.
Run to here.
Position.
Can you jump up there? Oh, no.
Survival is all that matters. One day, I'll catch a break.
You missed.
Make it hurt.
You missed. Go behind him.
I need healing. Now!
Boom!
Good job.
Can't even catch my breath. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
No. Can't shoot him. He's behind the thingy. Okay.
I can't take much more.
idle.
Oh, you can't jump up there, it's too high. You can apparently shoot him from there. Somehow. Okay. Astarion.
What a day.
Have a health potion. There we go. Get that, get that. Get that.
My dogs are barking. Can we rest?
We just had a rest. And you don't have dogs. What are you talking about? Okay.
What to do?
Okay, everyone, pull them up. Let's go out here. Into the camp, which is completely empty. Job well done.
On my way.
Well, let's have a look at this stuff again.
Blackets will be done.
Okay, you can pick up some stuff. Pick up this. Pick up these thieves' tools. Got to go, Kibbits. Well, thank you for joining. I hope you have a good rest. Dagger, battle axe. Okay. There's whole chickens here. The plucked neck hangs floppily to one side. Chicken. Okay, I think there's like one goblin left. There's one over here. Yeah. We're all a ransom, which we didn't kill.
Without delay.
Whatever.
All right. What now? Moving ahead.
It's kind of weird that we were able to take out the watchers here, the little band of goblins over here, and the rest of the camp didn't become hostile to us. I guess because we got rid of the war drums. There was one like over here or something, which I destroyed. Maybe if they'd hit one of them, yeah, there, they would all get hostile. Like they didn't know that I was attacking them the entire time I was attacking them. Okay, let's hot-foot it back over to the camp. I guess we'll take the druid with us. Extra party member. Druid has some healing. Did I end up opening that?
Should be easy.
And he seems to know a bit about this stuff, so I'll be able to pick his brains over it. There we go.
No time to rest.
Oh no, I think we were in here. It's like a little... Yeah, right. This is into the
This is into the spider cave. Yeah. I was watching a bit of Variax playing this after the stream yesterday, and he was having a terrible time in the spider cave. The giant spider kept
path lies before me.
detecting him and teleporting after him, even though he was rather out of its range. Yeah, I guess it's like the game, once you get aggro on it, it doesn't let it up, but something seemed like a bit bugged with it. Fallen tree. Oh, right. I can sit on it. There was a note about some stocks in the forest. Or storage in the forest? No. No. Let's see. Case file, Elminster, poem, eyewitness account. No, not that. Does it keep track of notes which I read?
Action, not reaction.
Got a warning to the Sword Coast. Oh, we got some stuff I didn't look at. Let's see.
Well, hello.
Cyanide. Cyanide's fire. Once per short rest, you can encase the target in fairy fire for 2 turns if you miss an attack against it. Cast deep in the underground by Duergar slaves, the head of this mace is engraved with spiderwebs. It is ice cold to the touch. It's just a +1 weapon. Not very impressive for the drow. That's actually pretty nice. If you miss, you cast Fairy Fire on them automatically. Fairy Fire, I believe, makes it easy to hit the target. Yeah, shedding dim light. Incoming attacks have advantage. Cannot be invisible. Because it outlines them with it. Spider Silk Armor. Tracings of glossy black spiderweb mark this drow-made armor. It is supple but strong, and made to blend in with the dark caves and crevices of the Underdark. Stealthy. Gain a +1 bonus to stealth checks. Advantage on Constitution saving throws checks. Worth 1,150. Yeah. Astarion, wear that. Boots of Striding. Focus Stride. When you cast a spell that requires concentration, you gain momentum for 1 turn. What's that do? Spurred on by a sense of urgency, the affected entity's movement speed has increased by 1.5 meters per remaining duration of this effect. I wonder if that stacks. Probably not. From different effects applying it. When you are concentrating, you can't get knocked prone or be moved against your will. Athletics +1. Well, that's for like a mage, which I guess I am. They might be useful to me. I don't really do concentration spells though, because I don't know if that means I think that means I can't attack.
What a charmer.
What are these? Reason's Grasp. Oh no, we saw those. Didn't I have a pair of gauntlets I got?
I've got a long road ahead.
Hide Armor, Absolute War Shield, Glowing Shield, Crusher's Ring. Movement speed +3 meters. What have I got? Ring of Color Spray. Spurred Band. I'm gonna wear Crusher's Ring instead of Spurred Band. Spurred Band gives me momentum for 1 turn if my hit points go below 50%. Crusher's Ring just means I get an extra 3 meters of movement. Underdog's Bravery. The wearer gains advantage on melee attack rolls while surrounded by 2 or more foes. Those sound good for Karlach, but I believe they might count as armor. No, they don't. But you lose 2 points of AC. Having advantage on all of her attacks is pretty good, and I believe she gets a bonus if she has advantage. See, she has advantage on saving throws. I think some of your attacks do like extra things, doesn't it? Or like reckless attack. Right, but that means like I don't need to use reckless attack. I can just attack normally because I always have advantage. Sounds pretty good to me. The extra AC is nice. I guess we'll have to see. You can't wear helmets, so I'm gonna have to find some other ways to lower your AC. What about... what else? Absolute's Talisman, Amulet of Saloons, Beastmaster's Chain, Line Breaker's Boots. Here we go. Adrenaline Rush. Once per turn, when you dash, you gain Wrath for 2 turns. You have a +1 bonus to damage with melee weapons. Karlach, here you go.
What's cooking?
Have these boots. So when you run into combat, you will get extra damage.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Boots of Striding. Right, yeah, those are mine. What have I got? Speedy Light Feet. When I dash or take similar action during combat, I gain 3 lightning charges, which I think means I deal a little bit of lightning damage. Yeah, I have +1 to attack rolls and deal an additional 1 lightning damage. I gain 5 charges. I deal an extra 1 to 8 lightning damage. That means I have to, like, dash 5 turns in a row, which isn't going to happen, really. I always felt a bit... This is getting into Neverwinter Nights in 3rd edition. Like, how these boots have, like, +1 to athletics. I think a lot of items in Neverwinter Nights gave you bonuses to fates. Or feats. And it always felt a little underwhelming to me. I think it's because the feats are kind of passive abilities which come into effect in regards to, like, rolls which your character's making. Like, whether you keep your footing, whether you're knocked over, whether you see something out of on the ordinary, and so on. Or how much you heal when you use a bandage in Neverwinter Nights, and I don't know. That stuff to me always felt a little compared to, like, +1 to it, +1 to AC, or an extra bonus to hit, which I feel like impacts your character a bit more immediately, at least in my mind. It's just like, it felt like a lot of the items I got in Neverwinter Nights were kind of a bit eh. When I get them, it's like, oh, okay. These gloves give me an improved chance to, like, heal a disease away when using a bandage. It's like, oh, yay. But that might just be because of sitting down and resting, getting rid of all the diseases anyway, so. You know, undermining their own mechanics a bit. There is the opposite of that, where you have to be careful not to keep putting more and more impressive bonuses on items. So that they feel good. Because then you end up with overpowered items. And Warhammer 3 sometimes falls into that.
A scout just reported. The goblins' leadership has been decimated. We might escape this place yet.
They all
I took a
did.
collection from all of us. It isn't much, but you've earned it.
Thanks.
It's not enough, but it's all we have.
Halsin will likely want to thank you too, mind. He returned just a while ago. I believe he's catching up with Korga. As for us...
No armies at our heels. Amazing. We can finally leave. But perhaps we need not speak of farewells. We'll join your camp tonight to celebrate if you'll have us.
I mean, if you're going to, like, you know, bring your own food and stuff, sure, why not? It's a party. It sounds like some of the voice lines were done at later points. Because, like, they sound different. Okay, hello.
Heltrel didn't want us, and those druids sure as hell didn't either. But you risked your life for us.
I just slaughtered goblins for this, for trying to get rid of this brainworm. I guess if I help you, it's a happy side effect. I probably would have done it anyway. I got money for it. How much did I get for it? I got 150 experience. Don't know, it doesn't say how much I actually got for that. Oh well. Oh, we have more,
So it's true. You scattered the
I have more
goblins.
stuff to sell.
Peace can finally return to this corner of the Sword Coast. Thank you.
Any excuse to gut some goblins.
Well, to each their own.
No,
Of course.
trade. Let's see. It's just like, great. Take all these rings, and this metal shield, and these goblin weapons. I'm gonna hold on to magic items. I'm gonna have to, like, really sort through them and figure out what I want at some point. I might just make snap decisions. Who knows? You don't have anything new, do you? Hypnotic pattern. Hypnotize creatures that can see the pattern. They cannot attack you. They cannot move or act. It can be cast while I'm silenced. That sounds pretty good. It's a concentration spell. What were those boots that I had? Okay. I'll take the spell. I think I've got mirror image. I wasn't able to memorize it because I'm not high enough level. What's this one? Arrow of Darkness, right. Elixir of Barkskin. Drink to increase your armor class to 16. This is where the druid could be useful. He could cast Barkskin on... what's her name? Fire Lady. Scroll of Sleep. Tasha's hideous laughter. Don't think I've got that. Scale mail +1. What have I got? Scale mail. Sure. Let's get some scale mail +1 for us. For ourselves. I am going to eventually get heavy armor. If I can still cast spells while wearing heavy armor. Might be limited to medium armor. This is where I wish games still really had physical releases. Because I can imagine Baldur's Gate 3 here would be coming with a thick manual describing how to do things in it. There might be a manual I can download on Steam, but just, like, having something which explains how all these things work would be useful. When playing Baldur's Gate, I was looking at the manual constantly, because it details all the spells and tells me how they work, and it's very useful. Not having physical copies, digital, kind of lose that, unless the game has a in-game encyclopedia, which I think this could benefit from having. You sort of just have to, it's based on what knowledge the game is giving you, which might not be enough. Ring of Flinging. I wonder if that would work with Karlach's... There we go, that's the name. Karlach's enraged throw. Would that mean if she throws someone, she deals extra damage to them when they're thrown? I'm gonna try that. Gloves of missile snaring. Those could be useful for Astarion. Because he's got like a dexterity of 19 or something, which is like a +3 or 4. 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier. So at minimum that would be -4 to 5 damage from an arrow. Up to 14? 13, 14? That's a fair amount of damage. I wonder if that applies to the, any elemental damage they deal. Get those as well, I guess. We've got the money. Rain Dancer. Yeah, I might also want to consider keeping some items for the druid if he's joining us. They're probably not restricted to just using, like, clubs and spears and quarterstaves and so on now. Be able to actually choose some other things. I wonder if Karlach would say something if I sold the Infernal Iron. See, I don't have the Absolute's brand, so the +1 to saving throws there won't help me. And advantage on death saving throws, well, that won't help me. The aid and the heroism could still be useful. Like, the aid could be useful, because aid is... Heal yourself and increase your hit points maximum by 5 hit points. 5 healing. So it's 5 health plus an extra 5. Oh, no, okay, so it heals you for 5 and it increases your maximum hit points by 5. But I don't think it gives you 5 temporary hit points. So it's like if you're at maximum, it will heal you over. But if you're below it, it gives you like 5 temporary hit points which you can heal into or something. At least that's how it sounds to me. 5 healing. That's less than a health potion. It's the upper end of a normal health potion, I think. Only sells for 25. Man, stuff we're selling is really not getting too much for it. It's ripping me off. Buy my carrots. Okay, there we go.
May you keep balance.
Thank you. Let's see. I had money. That was nice, having over 2,000. Okay, let's see. Gloves and missile snaring. Astarian, there you go. What was the other things I bought? Scale mail +1. Wear that. Ring of flinging. Karlak, have that. Spurred band. Might give you that as well. And the other things I bought were spell scrolls. Oh. You can have these. Okay. What have you got? Gloves of archery. Efficiency with longbows and shortbows. Well, I think you're proficient with shortbows anyway. Yeah. +2 additional damage. That does help. So it's either if I want you to be taking less damage from ranged attacks, or have you deal a bit more damage. We'll wear these. Have you dodge armor. Dodge attacks.
Come on, let's go.
What have we got? Ring of poison resistance. Ring of flinging. I'm going to give you the spurred band. And
Eager for battle.
Lazel. You can have that. Okay, I like that hammer on you. Hammer Heimarhaft. It's a pretty neat one. Especially with that jump shockwave. It's useful.
Still breathing, despite everything. Best be on my way.
Okay. You're down there. Could I give this to you for Karlak now? Or you said to come to Baldur's Gate after you've had some time to think about it.
You saved us. I wasn't sure we'd make it through. I wish I had better, but this is all I have.
Okay. Right. Still have to wait. I like how they just have like an inventory of junk. Because I've been giving them all this. Okay, you can't wear the helmet, so just... I'm gonna keep that axe. I like having it to throw. Oh, I don't think that supplies. Hey, here, have this dwarf meat.
Oh. Yeah, it doesn't say camp supplies, so you can't eat it anyway. Oh, okay.
Luck twist your way.
Is this dwarf meat? Yeah, those goblins are hungry buggers. Why did you take it? I don't know. Look, you gave me 4 gold for it. It was worth something, wasn't it? Yeah, but I think I'm just going to get my shovel briefly. A conch shell? Neat. Okay, how's Kagar going?
You took it upon yourself to undertake the Rite of Thorns. I ought to exile you from this place. Forever. Instead, I shall listen to the explanation that you owe me.
I owe you nothing. Goblins swarmed us like roaches while you stumbled after the past. You chose to abandon us. I chose to protect us.
Silence! The rite has been ended. I will allow you to stay, but consider yourself a novice anew. You have forgotten the ways of the druids, our place in the natural order. You shall learn it all once again, right here. Backslide, and nature's fury will crush you.
As you wish, Master Halsin.
That's all? She tried to imprison a child. Have your hands full with her. She's shown great spirit, to put it mildly. No need to be so harsh. Karga acted out of concern. You're too lenient. There's bad blood between tieflings and druids because of her. Yeah. You'll have your hands full. She shows great spirit, to put it mildly.
She shows great insolence.
No.
But time will humble her. And the grove still needs her. You will soon see why. But enough of that for now. I owe you my thanks. The grove stands. Nature prevails. And again, I am in your debt. Speak to Wrath. He will reward you for your efforts.
Trees. Books come from trees. I like books. I am protecting the future production of books. What about my problem? I need help. Hope this grove of yours was worth the bloodshed. What happens next? Yeah, what about my problem? I need help.
Tomorrow morning, we shall discuss what is to come.
As long as I don't grow tentacles.
Banished.
Then banish me. When the coming army marches, there will be none to protect you.
There is no army. Army dead. All dead. Bye-bye. Who was I supposed to talk to? Kill Kaga. Defeat the goblins. Wrath.
We're okay. We're safe.
What's that sound? What? There's a shiny key over there. That pig's just going crazy in the plants over there.
I have to pull it together.
Oh, here we go.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
You've done it. You brought Halsin back. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thanks is not enough. May Sylvanas bless you for all your days. I cannot imagine taking on a camp full of goblins was a simple task.
It was an explosive experience. Cue stock laughter. For someone like me, it was pretty simple, actually. Think nothing of it. I'm glad Halsin is safe. It was a hell full of blood and ash. I'm just here for the reward. It was a hell full of blood and ash.
To be expected. I'm glad you survived intact. And I promised you a reward, didn't I? Let
Possibly.
me show you on your map where you can find the cache. Take this rune. You'll need
Oh, right. Magic items from the
Place it
druids.
among the pedestals inside our library. When the wolf glows brightest, everything in the vault below will be yours.
Everything? Sounds pretty good to me. Who are you?
I think it's high time you all left. Our sacred grove has sheltered you enough.
Sorry, you've got competition. Where were you during the attack?
Within the inner sanctum, of course. It is not for us to fight your battles.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fine. Whatever. Oh, right. Let's go see, Nettie.
Blessed day. I was worried I'd never see Master Halsin again.
I have no tentacles.
You kept your word. Thank you.
You're just lucky I didn't swing that poison.
Ha! Look, I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do when you told me about that tadpole.
Thanks, Apine. The reward is better. You're
I
welcome.
don't know if I can ever restore Sylvanas' peace to this place, but I'll have the chance. Thanks to you.
I think nature's rather robust. Oh, I got a pouch. Pouch? Is that it? Apple and mugwort? Was it another thing? Alchemy pouch. Yeah, okay. An apple. Thank you.
There's a parasite nearby. You should take a closer look.
Oh, right. They've got it on the table there. Do I want to be collecting these? Bottle tentacles. I don't like this head. This voice talking in my head all the time now. Notes on drow parasite. Anatomical sketches of both a drow and an illithid tadpole are accompanied by notes written in an urgent scribble. The parasite was nestled deep into brain matter, illithid undoubtedly, yet the host seemed unaware while alive. No visible signs of ceremorphosis on the cadaver. Most strange. A final note is a single underlined word. Altered? My dear Nettie, I entrust you with a circlet to open the library. Wear it always. If you need to enter the vault, talk to Wrath. He has the rune, but won't give it to anyone, so be sure you have good reason to ask. Oh, he gave it to me. Protect my research when I'm gone and take care of the animals. Don't give fish to Tuffet. She's getting lazy. Weathered chisel set. Bottled blooms. Huh. Bottled solvent. Sure, I guess I'll take that. Yoink. Oh, I think all this stuff is now for me to take. Where, yeah, okay, so they've given me permission to loot the place. Empty socket. And...
I'll give it a shot.
Loot! Ah, yes. Ancient lore senses tingling. What's this? Secret societies of the Sword Coast exposed. Harpers. The most well-known of the Sword Coast's cabals, perhaps, but certainly not benign in its shrouded doings. My sources claim that those belonging to this mysterious faction abhor power, but if that is so, why do they not expose the revelations of their inquiries for the public good? Why indeed? Because knowledge is power, and the Harpers intend to keep both for themselves. Shadow Druids. Weigh the life of a man against that of a sapling oak. Which do you value more highly? Ask a Shadow Druid the self-same question, and be shocked by their answer. This dangerous group utterly disregards intelligent life in favor of the life of plants and insects. Their perversion of the natural order leads them to plan and execute plots so dastardly that the mere description of one would leave you glancing sideways at your begonias. The Order of Clerd. The least known and accordingly most dangerous of the secret societies I have researched. It's the Order of Clerd. My sources tell me this shadowy conspiracy of murderers, mutilators, and tyrants regularly meet to plan the demise of a number of innocent citizens of our fair land. What's more, they like it. Dark Justicers. I shudder even to inscribe their name upon the purity of this page. I shall leave it at this. They worship Shah. Ooh, Wyvern Toxin. Antidote, Wyvern Toxin, Simple Toxin, Elixir, Poison Resistance. This crate's got like... yeah, a symbol of a proud stag is burned into the side of this crate. Ooh, healing potions. Whole person, animal friendship. How much is that book worth? 14. Yeah, we don't need it. All these vases are empty. The guy above is like, joke's on him. There's not actually that much down there. Even the goblins had a huge pile of gold. I guess druids don't really need huge piles of gold. Ooh. Robe of Summer. Grants resistance to cold damage. This robe's thin fabric is pleasantly warm to the touch. Could Karlach wear that? It doesn't count as armor. So you got fire resistance and cold resistance. It looks a little weird, but it's not lowering your AC. Because it doesn't count as armor. Sure. There you go.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
What's this? Sorrow. 4 to 13 damage. Sorrowful Lash. For every drop of blood spilled, a piece of the soul perishes until nothing remains but regret. Extra reach. Pulls a creature 3 meters closer to you. The target cannot be pulled if it's huge in size. Oh, that's like, Thorn Whip, or Thorn Lash, or whatever it's called. Okay. +1 spear with a bound, bound weapon.
Glaive.
Oh, it's a glaive, not a spear.
So why does touching it give me a knot in my stomach?
Eh.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Because it's called Sorrow. Oh. Druid note.
Here we go.
The Emerald Enclave won't send help, even if I asked. This land is wounded and the rot is deep, but it's deep everywhere. I can't wait for help to come, but perhaps I need not face the darkness alone. Hmm. That's odd. Why would that be in here? Well, there wasn't any gold down there. Oh well, whatever. Oh no, poor birdie's exhausted.
Have to tidy this place.
Yeah, you do. Let me read this. Okay. More recipes. Should I talk to Kaga? He's probably in no mood.
Peace. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, okay.
You're testing my patience.
Okay, I think that's about all that we need to do around here. Do I have my shield equipped? Yes. I kind of wish I had the shield on my back. If I have it equipped.
Big city, lots of opportunity.
But El Terrell.
Don't let that place cast a shadow on your head forever.
Did it? I guess things are already better. I've learned a lot.
There we go, boy. Now, back to packing.
Okay. Long rest. I think that's what we need to do next.
I'm fine.
Loosen up, Icaron.
Isn't this place busy? Hey! Doggy! Some people have things to say. Okay, how's it going?
Would you look at this place? All these people happy because of us. It's nice to be somewhere where good is still possible. And with good potations too.
Potations? What? Are you enjoying yourself? Did you have parties like this in the Avernus? Did you have parties like this in the Avernus?
Not so much. You spend the whole time avoiding swords and schemes. Plus, people just get nastier as the night wears on. I tried to make friends at first. Learned my lesson fast. Better to keep to yourself in hell.
Yeah. You enjoying yourself?
Fuck yes. I'm celebrating my freedom.
Language.
And our friendship. And these folks' bright future besides. All I need now is a fire-retardant lover to get lost in till sunrise.
Right. Well. Enjoy yourself tonight.
You too, soldier. Enjoy yourself tonight. You've earned it.
I need a quick word.
How about you?
Think of it. No more caves, no more tents, no more running away. We'll be in a city with roads and markets and homes.
Hmm. How about you? How's it going?
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here...
Don't like it. Yeah.
I hate it. This is awful.
Really? Saving lives is awful? You did a good thing. Suck it up and enjoy yourself. It's not that bad. Think of all the goblins you killed.
True. That was fun. Still,
yeah, it was.
I would have liked more for my trouble than a pat on the head and vinegar for wine.
Well, take his bottle and try the wine. Win 21, I'm having fun. Few goblins would have thrown a wilder party. Yeah, but I don't know. Truth be told, I probably would have wanted to eat dwarf. Take his bottle and try the wine. Goblins would have thrown a wilder party.
I'm just looking for a little more excitement. A little more fun.
Right. What's your idea of a little fun? That had better not mean I want to kill something. We could have fun. We could spend some quality time together. Living in constant peril isn't exciting enough for you.
Don't be so sour. I like a good time as much as anyone.
Right.
You know, we could always make our own entertainment, darling. Get a little closer, so to speak.
I'd rather be a goblin, darling. No, absolutely not. Maybe if you said please. I'm not sure. Let me get back to you. No.
And here I mistook you for someone with taste. A pity.
Oh, don't be
But
sad.
have it your way. I'm happy to entertain myself.
Oh, it's you again.
This might be the wine talking, but I'm feeling inspired. Thinking of writing my next song about you. But I need an angle. Any ideas?
Not really. I'm not much of a bard. About courage, classic song material. Have you seen this body? It would be a crime not to sing about it. Honestly, I'd rather you didn't. If I hear my name in a song, your life is forfeit. Sing about my prowess in battle. Sing about how big my amazing brain is. Go on, touch it. I'm not much of a bard.
Oh, come on. There must be something.
I'd rather you didn't. I don't know. My prowess in battle.
Fitting.
Maybe it will make
Seeing
someone
you
stop
fight
fighting me.
makes me feel like I'm capable of anything.
It's a ghost.
That deserves to be remembered.
Oh,
I'll be ruining
it's
it
you.
come morning anyway.
Hope you're enjoying the night, hero. I certainly am. Cheers to many more like this.
Okay. Oh, are you you're the person I saved from that bugbear assassin? Hey, Volo.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much.
Stay away from the vampire.
I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company.
How did you find the camp?
Finding is my job, my friend. If there's anything in the world worth knowing, I assure you, I do.
Right. What do you know about mind flayers?
Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know? Quite shocking. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close.
I actually have it in my pocket. I fought one of them. And they're parasites. Do you know anything about them? Yeah, I fought one of them.
Here, on the Sword Coast. Impossible.
Did you see the big ship which fell out of the sky? It's hard to miss, lad. Not only have I encountered a mind flayer, I've killed one.
That can't be.
The giant ship, Volo. I killed a mind flayer in its lair aboard an Nautiloid.
You're either an excellent storyteller, or you've experienced something quite exceptional.
Yeah. New book coming to mind.
Have you noticed any residual psionic malaise since the alleged encounter?
Malaise is one word for it. More like psychic transference.
Curious. Illithids, their technical name, form a hive mind. One shouldn't be able to hear their dark whispers unless...
Unless you've been infected with one of their parasites. I'm interested to see whether he can connect the dots here.
Are you familiar with the process of ceremorphosis? That is what happens when a mind flare parasite infects a living host.
Ceremorphosis, I'm listening.
I can't attest to the specifics, but I do know that not long after insertion, the host, that's you, turns into a mind flare. As there's not a tentacle on your head, I can only assume you haven't been infected.
Yeah, well, there's a logical assumption. I'm familiar. I've been infected.
If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now.
Well,
you
gnomish
infected by
things
a mind
aside.
flare? Ridiculous, isn't it?
Examine me. Find out for yourself. Of course, utterly ridiculous. Doubts aside, you should keep your distance from me. Now examine me. Find out for yourself.
Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim.
Knock me on the head once, twice. What are you gonna do? Like, look in my eye?
If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, dear sweet gods!
You can see it? How do you see it in my eye? Like, there's not like a tunnel from my eye to my brain. I want rid of this thing by any means necessary.
If we managed it, we'd have a specimen of incredible rarity on our hands.
No, I've got like 4 of them in my pocket.
I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
Maybe you can go ring up Elminster. Volo has decided to remain in our camp. Having such a learned scholar nearby might be useful. He does seem to know a fair amount once he gets to the point eventually. What's this? Blazer of Benevolence. Remedial Rhymes. When you inspire an ally using bardic inspiration, you gain 4 temporary hit points. Right.
Aha, there you are. Come now, settle in. I do hope you have partaken of something bracing. This may well take us all night.
And by this you mean?
Why, your naming, quite obviously. That ballad was but a crude preview, a frame without its crowning jewel. Your nom de guerre. Something iconic, but not too much of a mouthful. We don't want to exclude the common folk after all. I intend this tale to enrapture all.
I already have a name. What about Grovekeeper? Goblin's Bane has a nice ring to it. It's taken. I didn't ask anyone to write my story. You have something in mind? Don't you have anything of actual worth to work on? I already have a name.
A wonderful one indeed. But your deeds loom larger than life now, my friend. You simply must have a title to match.
Chicken Chaser. I get it. Something flashy and made up, like Volotham Gadar.
Exactly wrong, my friend. I urge you to leave the fact-finding to experts, Now, back to your revels. I have some details of your victory to rearrange.
Right. Okay. I was wondering whether he was actually a party member. Like...
Away and have your...
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't... Pretty sure he's not a party member. He's only level 3. He should be like... quite a bit more than that. Hey, Zephyr.
You have no idea how good it feels to see these people smiling. The singing we could probably do without, but even so, thank you.
Okie dokie. Lazel, you probably won't like this. A lot of people will do.
I have seen the Kithraki tear a screaming Neogi's legs from its belly to fashion into blades. Yet, they could not match your nerve today. It was enough to drive me to madness.
What are you talking
I
about?
smell their blood on you still. I smell your sweat. I mean to taste it.
Careful there, lad. Are you? I'll think about it. I will share my bed with you tonight. Are you asking for sex? Sorry, I'm not interested in you like that.
I respect your error. There are, after all, other spreads before me. I will not go long without pleasure.
Man, people just can't keep it in their pants in this game, can they?
But off you go, Master Ranger.
Without you...
I am over encumbered. Here, have this armor. Okay, I'm not over encumbered now. How about you? You're not going to try to make passes to me?
Strange.
Oh, you've got a little
You know who I never
divot
thought I'd find myself
on the
caring
back of your
for?
hand there. I guess that's that saw. Find myself caring for. Let me guess. Yourself? Char? Refugees? I don't know. I don't know.
Desperate people. Refugees. Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. And
Yeah.
yet we came through for them. We saved their lives. Odd.
Not so odd. We did the right thing. Are you worried Char won't approve? Don't get used to it. We just needed to clear the path forward. Sounds like the wine's talking. Are you worried Char won't approve?
Something like that. I was taught to reject anything that distracted from Shah. But there'll be time for penance later. Share a bottle with me?
Yeah, another time.
As you like. Try not to tire yourself out too much.
What about you?
Look at them all. Guzzling poison like we've the right to be happy.
You should join them. Have a pint or two. Might as well Christmas. We survived. It's always worth celebrating. Are you this unpleasant by nature or choice? Right, there should be a somber occasion. What the friggin' levitating bugs around me. Get it out of my face. This unpleasant by nature or choice?
I'm the only one showing proper, sober respect.
Well, I'm not
we
drunk.
survived. Others didn't.
That is true. 3 people died at the front gate.
To beds and hearths, to dirty pubs and dwarven ale.
Okay. Hey, Withers, what about you?
Fate spins along as it should.
Okay.
Dost thou require a new ally?
Ow.
Oh.
Not one for partying. Okay. Never mind. What about you?
Sherry! That's infernal for cheers. Or possibly turnip.
Turnips? I haven't even seen a turnip
I
yet.
need to dance! No. No, I need to lie down.
Yes. Where's Will? Oh, there he is.
Ah, hells. I was hoping you wouldn't notice I was gone.
You're not that far. What do you think you're doing sulking out here? Get your ass back to the party. Are you alright?
I'm deeply proud of you. A touch less so of myself.
Yeah, you make
In
idiotic
truth,
choices.
I don't feel in a festive mood, and I didn't want to cast a grey cloud over the night. I'm a devil. I love the people from the Grove, but I unsettle them deep down, as I seem to unsettle everyone nowadays.
Well-
You don't want a devil at your party. Claws will pop the balloons, you see.
You don't have any claws.
And the sweet cakes don't taste half as good as raw eggs with this blasted forked tongue.
You don't have one. Don't unsettle me, you know that. You just had some fishing horns, I'm envious. Come on, you're exaggerating. Not that much has changed. Sorry it has you feeling rough tonight. Yeah, not that much has changed.
There are spikes in places there really shouldn't be.
Right.
But, off with you. This is your day. Have a dance. Enjoy the music.
I want to dance with you. Can't you tell me why I really wanted you out here? I wish you were there, but I'll respect your need for peace. You're impossible. Leave. Wish you were there, but I'll respect your need for peace.
Some time alone beneath the stars, and I'll be back to my old self. Promise. Still, it's a night to remember. You've made sure of that.
Right. Oh, there's someone else over here. Oh, you're the waif girl.
You came through for us. That's a change from most adults I know.
Don't be so harsh on your elders. Indeed, Naomi. That sounds dangerously close to a compliment. What are you doing way over here? Sounds dangerously close to a compliment.
And that sounds like the wine drowning your wits. Go on, enjoy yourself. I've squirreled away a few extra bottles. When the barrel's tapped out, I'll be there to save the night. For a price, of course.
Right. Anyone else? Oh, right. Paulson.
Go on now. Don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll discuss your problem tomorrow.
I thought you might care to have a drink with me. There's other things we could do besides talking. Oh, jeez. I'd like to get to know you some more. Take your own advice, why don't you? Go on, mingle a little. Suit yourself. Yeah, why don't you get...
Later, perhaps. Don't worry about me. A night under the stars amidst nature's creation is just what I need after being locked up in the goblin's dungeon. Go on, enjoy yourself. Seek out some wine before it runs dry. There are a lot of thirsty people around here.
Well, personally, I don't drink, but... Okay. That... Oh, right, yes, I put that smoke powder barrel right there.
I am.
Ah. A memento from our...
What are you going to do in the city?
There's always work for a guard.
Why do they have, like,
Always wanted to sing at the
loot
Absolute
symbols on
Level.
them?
If the owner has any sense, they'll hire you on the spot.
Okay. Finish the day. I'm gonna eat 10 cloves of garlic. Ugh.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done, and I promised I would help you however I could. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated.
It always is.
The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger.
Technically, I still don't even know where we are.
And the chance to hit these arseholes where they live. Sounds good.
To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place.
Baldur's Gate.
This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there.
Athkatla.
Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls.
Ruins of Ulcaster. Waterdeep. Sounds like I've no choice. I need to find a way through. What do you suggest? The Absolute forces can tolerate such a place? There must be another way to cure myself. How are you so sure Moonrise is where to go? Where I have to go? Well... How are you so sure Moonrise is where I need to go?
To me. Birds report what they've seen. And I've overheard goblins speaking of it too. Moonrise is at the heart of all this. I'm sure of it.
Those birds would have come in handy to stop you and your party from getting captured in the first place. Absolute's forces can tolerate such a place?
So it seems, though I don't know how. You'll have to choose your approach carefully.
Psychic mind.
You could go overland.
Mind shields.
Along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the Shadow Curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers. Aradin and his lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse.
Do we have a choice here? How do I find this underground route? I don't want to risk getting lost in the Underdark. I'll journey overland. I never thought I'd say this, but it sounds like the Underdark is the safer route. The overland journey sounds more interesting, frankly. With all these shadow beings and all that. I'm guessing all those Shah worshippers would have problems with Shadowheart, but... Rolls dice, looks at result. What would you do?
The decision is yours, but I'd favor the Underdark. Even a place like that is the lesser evil compared to the shadow-cursed lands.
But that sounds like there could be a lot of lore there. That sounds pretty fun. I don't want to risk getting lost in the Underdark. I'll journey overland.
You may reconsider once you see the effects of the curse for yourself. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned.
The changing of the recorded lines is weird. I mean, fine, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Say I decide to try this Underdark route after all. How do I get started?
You'll need to pick it up where Aradin left off. Find the hidden entrance. It's somewhere in the Temple of Selûne.
I guess that's where the goblins were. You want to come to Moonrise as well? Why?
Unfinished business. And a lifetime of regret to repair.
Right.
I helped overthrow Ketheric Thorm and his Dark Justiciars years ago. But I failed to prevent him from unleashing darkness across the region before he was defeated. I spent years researching the curse, trying to put an end to it. Nothing has worked. Yet. If I can join you and get close to Moonrise, perhaps I can lift this curse. Same as you may find a cure for your infection.
Is that why you went with Aradin? You thought he might uncover this route to Moonrise?
Precisely. Then perhaps I could have done something about both the Shadow Curse and Ceramorphosis aberrations. But in my eagerness, I put far too much faith in the abilities of Aradin and his band. We didn't even get close.
What about the Grove?
I've chosen a successor as first druid, Francesca of the High Forest. A bird's already been dispatched to summon her.
Who? What about the others? One of the others? Wrath, perhaps? Couldn't Nettie take over? Who?
Precisely. Who indeed? You do not know, and neither do any of the others. The Grove needs to move beyond the mistakes of the past. What it needs is an unknown quantity. An outsider who can enforce the Oakfather's teachings without bias. This is why I chose Francesca. She will restore simplicity and purity to the Grove in my absence.
Fine. Very shrewd of you. Won't that cause resentment? Sounds like the Grove will be in good hands then. We should get going. Very shrewd of you.
Contrary to how some think of us, we druids can play politics when necessary. Now, we've quite the journey ahead. Best get started.
It's difficult to reason with an naked
To
bear.
move on as Halsin. As ever, the Githyanki Kresh remains our priority.
Oh yeah, those guys. We got to still deal with them. That was a heck of a problem last time. We didn't really get far. They cut us down in one turn. We didn't even get a level of experience from that, so we're not really any better than we were last time we tried to fight them. And we start combat surrounded by them. I don't see how you're really supposed to do that. Like, they get in the first round, they kill us in a round. They're like level 6, level 5. Are we supposed to just run? Maybe. Okay, leave the camp. There we go. Okay, so now what? Githyanki are over there. Yeah, okay, that is the temple. Goblin camp. Well, not anymore. There was that fight with those mud quasits and other like wood elemental things down there. Oh, there's a hidden goblin stash. Okay, let's go get that. I might leave fighting the Githyanki for next time. It will probably take a few tries.
You sniffing where you ain't ought to be, friend? Might have to take that nose.
You know all your buddies are dead.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Yeah, just attack. I'm not gonna mess around with them. Whatever.
Let's go.
Very good.
Heating up. Close ranks.
Yeah, missed. Good.
On the move.
Shoot you. Okay.
Shouldn't have made me your enemy.
Okay. Very good.
Watch this. You're not gonna like this, mate.
Chop, chop. There we go.
Let's hide in here. Breathe deep and move.
Okay, that goblin stash is... Is it that? I think it's that. Oh, I already found it. Oh well.
No traps, please.
Are you seeing something around here?
What's that?
Ooh, a burrow. A backpack with 2 items in it. $120 gold. And a giant's finger. Oh, was that an alchemical ingredient? No? No, it is. Hill giant finger. Combine 3 of these to grind them into salt. Thanks to the finger's vast size, each spot of fungus, mud, and flesh stuck beneath its fingernail is agonizingly clear. Okay, so I think we found that. We never actually talked to that guy's associates in the building there. How could you miss this? It's not that far. I guess maybe the distances between them were kind of abstractions. But... Okay, so that's the mountain pass, and then the Underdark entrance is over there. Or I think there's another entrance to the mountain pass up there, too. Oh. Okay, we'll teleport up here. And I'm going to save and we'll continue with this next time. Because it's late, I'm getting tired, and I don't think I have it in me to do another fight. But we've done a fair bit. And we are, I think, getting close to the end of chapter 1. Which it'll be interesting to see, because everything afterwards I think is like stuff which wasn't in early access. I think the entirety of chapter 1, which is pretty much what we've been doing, was in early access, but yeah. So we'll continue with this next time. I'll thank you very much for joining and hope you join me then.